also, I forgot what I was gonna say. That's okay.
That's fine.
I'm ready. You guys ready?
Born ready.
All right, hit it.
All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the third episode of the Gains and Games podcast. I'm one of the hosts, Gage Mahalski.
I'm Joe Ogo Jr., and this is our guest.
What's
tell
up?
us how
I'm
you say
Ezra
your name.
Zerbach. Ezra Zerbach. You probably couldn't spell it, but it's pretty easy to say.
You know what? Let's try.
Yeah, go ahead.
I give up.
Try to
No, I
spell
give up. Well, it's good to have you.
Anytime you start getting S's and Z's in a name, it's just not even worth trying.
Yeah,
It's rough.
man. Yeah, and it has a pretty special meaning. I had this college professor at UNI who was Polish, and I had her for like half a year, and she was like, "Hey, do you know what your name means?" I was like, "I didn't even know it had a meaning." And she's like, "Your name literally means gap between front teeth in Polish." Now look at this. Dude, we all have it. All the Zerbachs.
Bro, what?
Oh,
Yes, dude. Kid you
Like-
not.
That's so comical, but super dope. Way
Yeah,
to like
dude, I
live
like
up to the
it.
name,
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah.
gap
Yeah.
between front teeth.
I actually,
Hmm.
my grandmother did a ancestry look up for our names from my mom's side and my dad's side. And on my dad's side, so my last name's Ogle, and I think the name that she boiled it down to, because there's a lot of Ogle type names like Ogletree, Oglesby, Ogle, and so on. I think mine's like Ogle Schlaven or something like that. I have to look it up again. No idea what that means. Not one lick. But interestingly, the reason she started that ancestry lookup was because my uncle was trying to be in the Highland Games, and you have to show your lineage to Scotland. And apparently, we had some royal lineage in Scotland, which is tight. She found our
Dang.
seals and
Yeah.
everything. Which is
Wow,
That's pretty
dude,
cool.
that is sweet.
Well, since we're on the topic
I
of
watched a show
name
last
stories, Mohelski, is not a super common name, but I also have a not super common spelling. So typically Polish names are SKI at the end. My family
Yep.
is spelled SKY because apparently at some point way back in the day, my great-great-grandpa Olaf wanted to separate us from all the other Mohelski families because there was just too many in the area. So he was a eccentric man. He changed the spelling of our name to differentiate the Mohelski families.
Dare to be different.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
What were you
Yeah.
saying before, Ezra?
Yeah, before I interrupted you.
You've got a couple tattoos, right?
Yeah.
Are you gonna get your signet?
I thought about it actually, and I have two. There's one for my British side and for the Scottish side.
Okay.
I thought about it. I'm just
That'd
not
be pretty
sure.
dope.
Like I could probably get both here. Like I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah,
find
man,
him again.
That'd be sweet. Yeah.
Do you know if you guys have a seal or anything? Do you have tattoos?
No, I'm clean. I'm clean.
Nice.
Age, you got tattoos?
Yeah,
though,
I've
right?
got tattoos. I think I've got like 10, but no seal, no family crest, none of that fancy stuff. Not that I know of, at least. I'm sure.
You're
well,
fancy to
I don't
me.
know. Maybe there's. Well, hey, that's all that matters, right?
It is. This is for us. Oh, I see you
Yeah.
have a Texas shirt. Are you from Texas?
Yeah, man.
Hey.
No, my sister is.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah, they're struggling. They are struggling down there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I live
that
in a
is
big
insane.
apartment complex, man.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I
I
have
got some
family.
down there.
Yeah. I mean, it's big enough. I feel like everybody has a little bit of family in
Yeah,
there.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Yep.
But
Yep.
so all of our prayers to you guys. I mean, I'm not
Thank you.
religious, but thoughts. My thoughts are out to you guys.
Yeah, I'm thinking
Yeah,
about Texas.
I'm sure they appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, gosh, that's crazy. Once in what? They said like once every 100-year
Century.
storm, which doesn't make sense to me
Yes.
because how many centuries has it been since this happened? Like,
I mean,
did this happen in 1920? It's crazy though. Yeah, the infrastructure down there it's not meant to handle it.
No, dude, but you think about it, they probably got enough dump trucks if they just bought some plows for those dump trucks and rigged them up so that they could plow. I'd probably do the job. That's what New York City does.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
how
just
many
not
plow
something-
trucks do you think there are? Like snow plows, do you think
30.
exist in Texas?
Exactly
30
30.
in the
That's it?
Dallas area. I'm serious, dude.
Oh my
30.
gosh.
Yeah, can you
Dude,
imagine?
I'm pretty sure Carleton County, which has like less than 10,000 people, has more than 30 snowplows.
Yes.
I'll text John because he drives a snowplow all winter time, but I'm pretty sure they have more than 30.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
Yep.
Yeah, let's
Dang.
have a Lenda snowplow event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang.
That's hilarious.
That's insane. It's colder. Well, over the last few weeks, it's been colder in Texas with this big crazy storm than it's been up here in Alaska.
No.
That's
Yeah, like most of the days it's in the teens,
Mm.
so it's really not that bad. Anchorage is fairly temperate weather-wise because the ocean is right there, so like we get dumped on with snow, but really the temperatures aren't too bad. Like I've only been here for like a month, but I've seen -8 like during the day, which like that's cold, and it gets colder during the nighttime, but like it's not that bad. I've seen -50 in Minnesota, so
that's so cold. I like cold,
yeah,
but I don't love cold. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I do hate hot.
Apparently it's yeah. Oh my gosh, hot's. I think cold's better because like you can always put more clothes on, but you can
Exactly.
only take so many clothes
Dude,
off.
that's it right there, man. That is it. Come and talk to my
Or,
wife,
like-
please. We have this
Who else
argument
is-
every
like,
week.
Sit
Oh my
around a
gosh.
fire,
Like,
get some gloves on.
Who else has had heat rash? Like I didn't know heat rash was a thing until I was in Hawaii.
Yeah, I used to get it
It's
a bunch
just like-
when I was in
Oh
football.
my gosh. It's just like from here down to here, it's just like red and itchy. It's just
Mhm.
like, oh my gosh, and it won't go away. I'll just be like sitting on my couch, just like eating pizza or soup or whatever, just like sweating into my food. It's just like I'm dying.
Or ice cream.
Yeah.
Trying to cool down.
Yeah. Like I woke up one night, like we didn't turn the AC on because it's expensive. Electricity is expensive in Hawaii too. And like I woke up in the middle of the night and it was just wet. And I was just like, oh, did I pee? I think I peed. And it's but the moisture is up around my torso. I'm like, oh, is this sweat?
And you sweat a lot. Not to like, you know, not to embarrass you. But I seen you at the
That's
gym.
true.
Yeah, there was days in Hawaii when I'd have to change my shirt halfway through workouts.
hmm
And that's not the case here. It's nice.
Yeah. I look forward to going to visit. It's gonna be tight.
Hmm. All right.
But
Yeah, some quick housekeeping stuff. It was actually today in Miami, Florida, the Hybrid Showdown 3 at the Hybrid Performance Method Gym. Some world records got broken in powerlifting. Joe, I know we were talking about some of this.
yeah,
Julius Maddox, bench world record raw, 782 pounds, also known as 354 kilograms.
it's
We might have some B-roll to put over this, but it moved
Yeah.
like butter.
yeah.
Like a 782-pound bench, that is insanity. I mean, he's a big boy,
Mm.
and that bench looked good. Like he's got more in the tank, and
Yeah.
I bet in this calendar year he will break 800 pounds raw. I put a paycheck.
What's
Like-
all right.
What's his wingspan, dude?
He's a
You
big
have
boy.
any idea?
I
pretty
would
long
guess
arms?
he's over 6 feet tall.
Wow.
I mean, I think his body weight's over 400 pounds. Like he
Yeah.
is a big dude.
Monster.
But yeah, he's just a monster. Speaking of monsters, Dan Bell broke the all-time world record total in sleeves with a 2,606 pound total, with an 1,102 pound squat, 600 pound bench, and a 904 pound deadlift.
That's insane.
So that is also an amazing showing. Like being able to put, any one of those lifts is amazing. Being able to put all three of those together on the same day is an absolute feat of strength. Pretty
he's going to
crazy.
be bedridden for the next week, 2 weeks.
Oh my God.
Icing.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's insane. And there were more records to fall. We'd be here all night just talking about those if we listed all of them. So those are just the ones I was most interested in because it's the biggest numbers.
Yeah,
And really, at the end of the day, that's what powerlifting's about.
literally. I mean, biggest weight.
So, yeah, but
Kinda
gosh,
makes me miss
that's
it.
crazy. Yeah, man, you're all about that bodybuilding these days.
I don't know about all about. I'm enjoying it a lot.
Well, yeah,
You got to cycle.
and
you know what I
then
mean?
yeah, and then there's Ezra who just literally tears down barns for a living, and that's his main workout.
That's so dope.
That's right.
So you can. What's your YouTube channel? Because there's actually some videos on YouTube that you've got, and it's
Yeah.
really cool. Like the production value is pretty good, and the content is also pretty amazing. Like, so
Appreciate
tell
it,
us
man.
about it.
Yeah, you could find us at 310-310 Timber Company. Just YouTube that. You'll be able to find our YouTube channel. But yeah, like Gage said, I that's my main workout. That's what I do. And I figure that suffices. I like to stay as far away from a weight room as possible because I spent 5 years locked in a weight room. At least that's what it felt like playing Division I football at University of Northern Iowa. And it's this kind of barn thing. It's a nice side business for us, but also it's a great way to stay in shape. So, yeah, we just put a video out. We're trying to put a video out every week. And at the end of the video that we just put out, it was a little YouTube short, a 1-minute clip. You could see my business partner. Literally, we tied a rope to his waist, and we had taken all the siding off of this big, massive shed. And I was like, dude, let's see if you could just freaking pull this down. He was training for the NFL at this time. So
Okay.
this dude was just jacked. 6'5". He was probably 255 pounds. And so we tied the rope. And at the end of the video, you can see he's bear crawling, and he bear crawls the barn over. It's pretty sweet.
That's
So,
kind of epic.
yeah, man. We like to just have fun like that and
That's cool.
Might
not
as well.
totally rely on the heavy machinery.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll
We'll definitely put a link to that video so you can check it out. But gosh, that is insane. Is that
For sure.
Elias?
Yeah. Yeah, that's Elias.
He's going to the NFL?
He was training for the NFL. He went to a couple camps and then just had a few injuries that kind of set him back. And man, it's a business.
rough.
It's cutthroat.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's rough. He's a good dude too.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
How do you get into what you do? Like, how does one find that?
Yeah, man. Thanks for asking. Like, so honestly, we were my wife and I got married in college. We had 2 years of college left, and then Elias and his wife got married, and so we started picking up dad hobbies like woodworking.
Right.
But we were broke, so we didn't have any money, and we're like trying to brainstorm. Like, dude, how could we find some lumber that's not so expensive? And his wife had the idea, why don't you guys just go up to an old farmer and see if you could get some of their barn boards? And so that's what we did. We literally just went and knocked on doors and asked farmers to tear down their old junky barns in exchange for the lumber. And that's kind of how it started. And since then, it's just totally taken off and grown. And we've got a lot of big plans this summer.
Yeah.
We're trying to post, like I said, once a week, man, and really take the YouTube thing seriously too.
For sure. So, do you also do construction, or do you only tear them down?
We do a lot of deconstruction, but we do custom furniture builds.
Okay.
So my business partner, he's like, I describe him as the artist because his eye for woodworking is just amazing. So we'll do like custom mantles, custom tables, cabinetry, all that kind of good stuff.
That's pretty awesome.
I've been told that I'm supposed to request a piece from you. You know those like boards with the pegs on it you can hang coffee mugs on? I think Nicole's been asking me to ask you about that for I think about a year now. So this is me finally doing it.
Perfect
Super
opportunity.
simple. That'll give us an excuse to come up to Alaska.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll we won't pay for your ticket or anything, but I got a couch you might fit on. So
there we go. Free room and board.
Yep, and we got a blow up mattress. So
whittle it on the couch.
Yeah.
Yep.
So true to the nature of our podcast, tell us a little bit about your nerddom.
Yeah, man. I'm a huge Star Wars nerd.
Okay.
Huge Star Wars nerd. I think I've liked Star Wars since I can honestly remember. I don't remember a day in my life where Star Wars like wasn't a part of it at least. So it's kind of, I've had some mixed feelings about Star Wars recently with the new movies. And I know that the new movies are really controversial.
Understandably.
But like this is I guess this is the level I'm at. When I saw Luke Skywalker and the Mandalorian, I cried.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Oh, yeah.
I was shedding tears.
That was like
It was
I mean, CGI be
That was
damned.
good.
It was amazing. It was such a
Yeah, I didn't
dope
care.
feeling. Oh my god.
yes. And then I went and I just binged. I binged on YouTube reaction videos, and I was just crying watching the reaction videos. Like, yes, we're all in this together. We're finally brought back together.
That's
Yeah,
so good. I
that's-
saw a video of them putting the Luke entrance with the Darth Vader entrance.
Oh yeah,
It was
Yeah.
and it was like scene cut for cut, like everything. It was so dope.
yeah.
Yo, that Darth
There-
Vader entrance, gets your blood pumping.
You're like,
It's
Oh, yeah.
kill him.
Yeah. You know,
that's
that was
one
the
that's
last,
pretty intense.
that was a last minute addition to the to that Rogue
Yeah,
One movie.
I heard that.
Yeah, dude, they weren't
That
even gonna do
honestly-
it.
Such a good choice. Like Rogue One was, in my opinion, pretty good.
Yep.
Like it was a solid of the new ones, probably one of the better movies.
The best.
That scene by itself pushed it over the top.
Mhm.
Like, oh my
Yeah.
god.
As far as independent movies go, like I mean, it's not necessarily independent, but it wasn't
Wasn't part of a trilogy.
sure, yeah. It's probably my favorite Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
Is it
that's-
really?
I think so.
I can see
Dude,
that.
that's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, I respect that. I totally respect that. I actually really liked that movie.
Mhm.
I liked it a lot. I thought, I thought it was nice going into it knowing that these characters were gonna die, and so you knew that Disney only had one movie to really tell a complete story, and we weren't gonna get any of this nonsense where it's like, hey, we're setting up for something later.
Yeah.
It was just a complete and full story. So, yeah, I love that movie.
And they probably could have
Also-
go ahead.
Also, how nice is it when a movie crew and like a director and writer have the goddamn balls to just kill people, just kill the heroes?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
Game of Thrones did it well. That movie did it well. It's like when you see, like, hey, like we're not having a happy ending. Like we're gonna kill him. Like there's none of this clone them and bring them back to life BS you're seeing in these other movies. Or like,
Mhm.
oh, like you're dead, but I developed the Force ability to bring you back to life. Like
Mhm.
we're not doing that. We're killing them. Some good old fashioned
yeah,
Dead.
like
You're
nuclear
dead,
holocaust
you're
via Death
like it.
Star.
yeah.
It is what it needs to
At
be.
what point? At what point do you guys think like that goes overkill though? So like, at what point do you think?
The killing or the saving?
Yeah, the killing. So I'm thinking about The Last Jedi. Okay, so
Mhm.
and then I know that Harrison Ford always said his character Han Solo is meant to die. So I didn't mind Han Solo dying in The Force Awakens. The thing that really got me was Luke's death in The Last Jedi. Like that absolutely tore me apart. And just Luke's whole treatment in The Last Jedi.
Well,
But,
yeah, that whole
do you think
trilogy
that,
was rough for him.
Yeah, it was really rough. And that's why so
'Cause-
many people had such an emotional reaction to seeing the Luke Skywalker that they remembered.
Yep.
Well, because the thing is, like, deaths make sense, like, right? Like, if you have a 9-movie trilogy, like, and it's spanning, like, what, like, probably close to 100 years now, like, people are gonna die, like, they get old, so, like, there's going to be a lot of deaths, especially if you're hanging on to these old characters, but you need to do those deaths, like, a main character like Luke, in a way that's, like, gratifying and, like, actually, like, is good for your audience, like, that whole Luke Force Ghost, like Force projection death, but he wasn't actually there. He was off on his island where he hid for 20 years. It's kind of felt like a slap in the face.
Mhm. Yeah,
So,
man. It totally did.
It's like you make this guy and he's this grumpy old man who like won't face the music, like won't face what he did, which his whole reaction to the Jedi Academy BS with Kylo Ren is also completely out of character. So you've
Yeah.
got this character who won't face the music, he won't, face what he's done, and he won't redeem himself, Oh, just kidding. Now he's redeeming himself by going and facing Kylo Ren. Oh, just kidding. He's not actually doing that. It's a Force ghost.
And this is the same Luke Skywalker that in Episode 6 faced down Emperor Palpatine and Vader and chose the light side, threw the lightsaber away, and would rather die than join the dark side. Like, that's the same Luke Skywalker, and all it took was Kylo Ren. A little bit, like,
he literally,
a little bit of
concern. Oh my gosh. He watched his dad kill people, and he's like, no, there's good in him. Kylo has a bad dream. Off with his head.
Oh. Yeah,
like,
you wonder
oh my gosh.
You wonder if Luke ever knew about Anakin and the younglings, though. Like, do you think Luke knew how savage?
Don't they have a line where they bring up the younglings? Like, where Obi-Wan? Well, I guess
I don't know
Luke
if Obi-Wan ever told Luke.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
That seems like the kind of thing I wouldn't want someone to tell me if my dad did that.
Yeah.
If I had if my dad died before I ever knew him, and I had like this view of him in my mind, like, oh, like he was good. I wouldn't want someone to be like,
by the way,
your dad actually went to a school and killed kids. I wouldn't really like that.
Yeah,
like,
that's
hey,
tough,
man,
dude.
like how do you have that conversation with someone? Like, hey, your dad killed a bunch of kids, and then I chopped his legs off. Like,
yeah.
It makes sense that Obi-Wan kind of just like avoided it the way he did.
Yeah, from a certain point of view, right? He told the truth from a certain point of view. So.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Omitted.
Yeah.
But besides Star Wars, I'd say Lord of the Rings, and then
dope. All right.
Since I've become a dad, honestly, dude, like I've been getting into all the classic Disney movies, like Pixar, and then like the Marvel movies and the Marvel Cinematic Universe too, just because like we've got one boy and then we've got another on the way, and it's just like, man, I'd like for them to experience some of this stuff that I experienced as a kid too. So I've been kind of nerding out over that. So I've been kind of all over the place recently.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Those are my favorite. Marvel.
Talking about the MCU?
MCU, Disney, like even some of the older Marvel content that wasn't part of the MCU, I just obsess over. It's so cool because I've always been into like being superhuman, being more than you could be, and being stronger, smarter, faster, like all that shit. I think it's so cool to expand the limits of human beings, and there's no better place to get it than comic books and the movies that they make from those comic books, and it's so dope.
So are you into the comic books too?
I try to be, but I talked about it in the first episode, but I have a hard time reading just because I can't focus.
Yeah.
So
dude, have you ever tried out those like Audible books? Do they make those for comic books?
They actually do, and I've really thought about it. Audible.com has it specifically for Marvel stuff. So I'm thinking about it, which is really cool. Because
I know for Star Wars, they've been getting voice actors for the new graphic novels that have been coming out for High Republic era, and they're actually like acting them out. So I wonder if you could find something like that for the comic books.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. Mm-hmm. By the way, this is not an ad.
Yeah,
but it can be.
Audible, sponsor us.
Yeah. Seems like every small podcast is sponsored by Audible.
Yeah,
so
it seems like an attainable goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to say that you guys are cheap, but
yeah, not to speak poorly about our potential future sponsor.
That just means that you guys care, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
But speaking of nerddoms, not to kind of cut you off, but today is the 16th anniversary of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah. I wanted to bring that up.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Yes. So
no, it's not.
My Jasmine Dragon.
Wow.
Gifted to me from my friend. Such a dope shirt. I wear it all the time. It's kind of wearing out. But Iroh, best character. Fight me.
Oh, by far. I don't even think that's controversial.
No. You can make an argument for Toph and Zuko, maybe.
Yeah, I think
because
Toph's my favorite.
Toph is just so dope.
Such a savage.
So savage. Oh my god. And she's so powerful, like equally
Just
as powerful.
little and mean.
Yeah, it's hilarious though. She's so great.
Yeah.
I literally get chills.
She
does any of that shit.
Yeah, she literally invented her own bending style. Like,
Yeah.
Sweet.
Not even you can bend metal. She's like, fucking try me.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Right?
Ezra, have you watched all the Legend of Korra now that it's on Netflix?
I watched it when I was in high school, dude, but
Okay.
I have not revisited it. And I do need to revisit it and look at it afresh because in high school, I was far more critical than I'm now. Being a husband and a dad has really softened me. So I was very critical of the Legend of Korra. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think I might like it. I don't know. I'm gonna have to go.
I
look
loved
at
it.
Fresh.
Yeah, if anything, I was probably the same as you. I tried watching it like 4 times before I actually was able to make it through the whole series. I'm not sure why. Maybe I was just a dickhead because it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched it for the first time, I don't know, not that long ago, and like I love it. Like I kind of like went into it, and like my first episode, I was just like, I don't know if I like this. Just because I went into it, like I finished the finale of Last Airbender, and then I went right into that one. So I was kind of thinking, like my mind was just like in like, oh, like this is the same show. It's just a continuation of it, but it's just not. Like it's the same universe, but it's so much time-wise separated that you really can't treat it as the same show. It's just something that you will also like if you liked Airbender. So.
And it introduces.
I thought it was good.
Yeah.
It introduces a lot of really interesting villains, which is super cool.
Yeah, I thought that's something that they did really well.
I was just going to touch on that.
Yeah, as the seasons went on, I thought it was cool to see different interesting villains because, like, Last Airbender, it was all leading up to the one main event. So, you know, there was like little side missions and stuff, but I thought Legend of Korra did a really good job of splitting things up.
Who do you think had the best character arc in Legend of Korra?
Maybe Tenzin.
I like Korra's a lot. I like Tenzin's a lot.
Lin Beifong, she was good, just in terms of like how rigid she was, and just the fact that she overcome like her love for Tenzin, and became softer to be more catering to the kids and to Korra, and like she just turned into like all around a better person and softer, and like she grew a lot. You can see it, which I think was really cool.
Yeah, I mean, I was a big fan of Korra, and then because just you watch her, like she's kind of like the first season, she's kind of a cocky dickhead a little bit, like, and then over the 4 seasons, by the time she gets to the end of it, she's come back a little bit more towards like being really balanced and being like what the Avatar is supposed to be, not picking fights in the street. So
yeah.
So I mean, I feel like maybe it's a cop out because she is the main character. Her name's in the title, but I think she has the largest development over the show.
Okay. Do we all agree that Zuko had the best character arc in Last Airbender, or is there someone better for Last Airbender?
In terms,
I think he has the best
arc?
change, the best arc.
Like,
yeah, that's what totally encapsulated me into the show. Like, it was just Zuko and his whole story. I couldn't believe I was watching a freaking kids show, Y7 on Nickelodeon,
dude,
getting this depth of storytelling.
Zuko and Iroh, just like the combination of them, like, heart wrenching the whole time.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
That was a good show.
It's so satisfying at the end.
The forgiveness.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't need to. He was like, I just thought you lost your way. Like.
Did you watch it as a kid like chronologically? Were you there
Mhm.
for book 1, 2, and 3 chronologically? Wow, that's cool, man.
Every single week. It was
Gage,
dope.
what about you, Gage?
I just saw it on TV every now and then, so I never actually saw the whole thing like beginning to end until I was a lot older. So,
Okay.
but it was one of those things like I knew of it and I knew I'd liked what I'd seen, but I'd seen, you know, it seems like when it's on TV, you see the same 10 episodes over and over. So there was a lot of it I had never seen before.
Yeah, which also kind of leads into like the reason we have this show, because like I feel like a lot of kids, teenagers, and the like didn't want to watch it because it was a cartoon. Like that's for kids.
Hmm.
When
Yeah.
there's literally 30-year-old men crying over this show because of how deep it is, you know, and you really lose sight of that just because of peer pressure. You know what I mean? So you don't do
Yeah,
things.
peer pressure's a bitch.
Yeah. Because people are like, no, don't like that. It's weird and lame, and only kids do that, or whatever. Like, that's for losers. Is it? Those people look like they're having fun. I want to have fun. I want to be aware, you know? So,
Yeah.
Yeah, man, absolutely. I think even as adults, I'm in this group, like this messaging group, with a bunch of my dad's friends who are all Star Wars nerds. And
nice.
like 90% of them would not watch uh, Clone Wars because it was a cartoon. And like 10% of us were like, come on, it is an amazing show. Like, you're
Yeah.
not going to
Better
regret
than the
it. Give it.
movies.
Clone
Yes,
Wars
like,
is so
please
good.
just watch it. And
Yeah.
they wouldn't
Like
watch it.
season 1 is kind of a dud, in my opinion. Because I don't think they
that's the
really knew what they were
going
doing.
consensus.
Yeah, it was
And then after that,
experimental.
like, oh my god, every season just gets better. Like the 7th season, the one that just came out, like that's better than most of the movies that are coming out now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you?
And it's weird that we have that in America, because it's like you go over to Eastern countries like Japan, and they've got the anime culture over there, and all adults watch cartoons. So it's like,
Yeah.
but in America, what do we get when we get an adult cartoon? We get Sausage Party. It's like, come on. Like, I think honestly, cartoons are such like a medium where you can explore different ideas creatively that you just can't do in live action.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a shame
Exactly.
that we don't get more of it, and that most of them are either for kids or they're just Sausage Party.
Like,
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
Dude.
You know what I'm saying?
exactly. I really
Yeah.
do. Because imagine
It's like-
a movie that they make in live action that is heavily using CGI. For example, Justice League.
Yes.
The cartoon Justice League? Dope.
So much better.
So cool. But like the Justice League that was made for live action was so disappointing. I had a lot of hope for that movie. And I'm not a DC person. I probably never will be. I appreciate the stories and I appreciate a good movie, right? So I'll go to see it because I want to see what they can do with it. And I had a lot of faith in it, and they just fucked it up. Like, and you can't do that in live action. If more people were comfortable with cartoon movies, the possibilities are endless. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're
Plus,
literally
with how
endless,
good
yeah.
the animation is getting, like with how good the animation is, like I'll send you guys in our chat a video I was watching earlier. It was the fight between Ahsoka and Maul, and it's actually the live capture behind the scenes stuff. Maybe you guys have seen it.
No.
Mhm.
Oh my god, it's so good. Like the production quality is rivaling that. It's better than lots of movies. Like
Mhm.
it's amazing. It's insane. Like the technology that goes into this stuff. I can't believe it. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think there is hope for this too with our generation. Just the fact that they're making like Finding Nemo 2, Incredibles 2, they're really trying to play on our generation's nostalgia.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
I don't really,
It's working.
I don't want those movies. It's working, but it's working to an extent, because if you look at something like The Lion King, that wasn't as successful as they wanted it to be, the live action. But I don't really want just sequels, just money grabbing sequels. I would really like cartoon movies, cartoon TV shows that are telling new and original stories that are captivating and doing things that you can only do in that format.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, I think original stories is always, I mean, not always, but an original story is usually better.
There's more
and they'll
stake in
figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just
Well, it seems like
out of ideas
it's
right now.
happening more and more. They're getting backlash against these like just regurgitations. Like you'll see like something like an animated movie being converted to live action. Like Beauty and the Beast wasn't really anything worth seeing.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, like I saw
Because you can't do the
reviews
same
of it.
things. Aladdin. Look at Aladdin, dude. So
Oh my god,
Aladdin,
it was so bad.
It's bright, it's colorful, and you've got these music pieces, and it's just like the animated version is just awesome. And then you get to the live action, and it's just so dull. And that's just like
that's
a
so
great
bad.
example right there of what we're talking about.
Yeah, although I respect the courage it took Will Smith to even try to be the genie.
I was
after
just
Robin Williams.
about to comment on it.
Like, if I was an actor, I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. I would not even try.
Yeah.
It's like covering the Beatles. The first rule to covering the Beatles is don't cover the Beatles. It's like don't follow up Robin Williams. Like, so even though I don't think it was very good, like he was swinging for the fences. He tried hard.
I think he did well. Like, because it was just a different genie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he didn't try to be the same thing.
You got it.
Yep. But since we're having this conversation about like CGI and stuff like that, I think a fandom that we didn't bring up last time, and really sort of applies to the CGI, is Harry Potter.
Oh my god, I love Harry Potter.
I think they did.
That was my shit.
Harry Potter was like, I was all over Harry Potter. Like, my parents, when I first heard about the first movie, because I was probably 8, maybe, my mom was like, when you read the book, I'll take you to the movie. I was like, fuck, I'm bad at this. But I just like laid down in the kitchen and tried to read it all. I probably lied about half of it, but I was like, yeah, I read the just take me to the movie. But that was such a dope experience because I think that was one of the first movies I saw in theaters. I don't remember anything before that, but I felt the magic, you know what I mean? And I think they were able
we were
to
the perfect age for it too.
Yeah, but
I think when I read the first one, I was like 10 or whenever it was read to me, because I wasn't reading books that big when I was 10.
Right. But even in the 7th and 8th movies, it was just so captivating, you know?
Absolutely.
The use of the magic, the overall flow of what they did with it was beautiful. Like, it was awesome.
Yeah. And you know what? With those movies, I think they had 4 directors over the entire series.
Really?
So they just, So the first 2 movies were the same director, and then they started transitioning directors in and out. And you can really tell the style and the difference and what each director wanted to focus on and pull from the books. I actually have a unique experience with Harry Potter because I didn't watch Harry Potter until I was in college.
Okay.
So those first...
Really?
The first... Yeah. So the first time that I saw Harry Potter, that first movie, I was blown away. And I didn't have any nostalgia tied into it. I didn't have any fond memories of Harry Potter, anything like that. And I was just blown away because it totally made me feel like a kid again. It just brought me to that space where it's like, man, let's go explore. Let's go explore this castle.
That's really cool. I'm so glad that you had that experience because I don't feel like there's a lot of people that had to or got to experience it first as an adult, except for that's probably a lie. Actually, there's a lot of people that, but even still, like
adults.
from our generation.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
Actually, there was a bunch of different composers across all of the movies too. Like John Williams did the first 2 or 3 movies, which everyone knows. He did Star Wars, he did Jaws, he did Superman. And then actually, I think fourth movie had a different guy, and then 5, 6, and then both of the 7s were, I believe it was Hans Zimmer, who he's the one who did like Interstellar, some of that stuff. So I think
So
if you're
epic.
into music, like if you look at their different composing styles, like John Williams is really like kind of in the theme of those first 3 movies, like really light and like,
Yes.
you know, like flowing and like fun and whimsical. And then you get into those other darker movies. And like, if you just look at some of the, I think he did the Batman trilogy too, the Christopher Nolan one, the good one. So like that music and that style lines up a lot more with those movies, which also, speaking of Batman Begins, Dark Knight Rises, those were dope. Like that was DC's high point, in my opinion.
I agree.
I think DC's high point was in the 70s with the Superman movies. That's just me.
When he had like the plastic
I love-
vinyl looking hair that didn't move the whole movie.
When he literally flew around the world to turn time
Yeah,
backwards.
to make
That
it
was
go
the peak for me.
backwards.
It's
Oh,
accurate.
I
That's
remember watching that
canon.
movie with you.
It's all been downhill. It's all been downhill.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
so
here's DC's problem. Go ahead.
so a question that I think we talked about last time was, which Joker do you think is the best?
I didn't know that was a question. Heath Ledger,
I think
man.
it was the last show
Has
we
to be,
watched.
right?
That's exactly. I mean, but that's from our generation. I feel like most people from our generation are going to think Heath Ledger, right? Because there's a lot of
Yeah.
argument for Jack Nicholson. They're different Jokers.
Which
But
they're different, yeah.
But one of the arguments that I made last time was Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill.
I was just gonna
is-
bring that up.
Yeah.
Dude, he's nice. He's nice at the Joker.
Yeah.
He's really nice.
He's
Yeah,
got
I like
all
him a
the
lot.
levels that the Joker needs to be.
Yes, he does. He hits it. I mean, and again, that's the animated format. You can just do so much. I mean, he would never play the Joker in a live action film, but get him behind the screen and boom, magic.
Excellent.
Yeah. His voice is just perfect for it too, which
Literally.
you'd never expect after watching. I mean, Star Wars is like the only other thing he's really known for. So
Yeah. Well, he's got a pretty good Yoda impression too.
really,
He can do Yoda spot on.
Tight.
huh?
I mean,
Yep.
Yoda trained him, you know?
Yeah.
Hung out with him a lot.
But speaking of really good voice actors, Alan Tudyk does not get enough credit. Does everybody know
Who's that?
Alan
I don't
Tudyk.
even know who that
Okay.
is.
Alan Tudyk.
I don't even know who you are.
Notably, I don't even know who you are. Anyway, notably, he was the chicken in Moana. I'm just kidding. That's not a joke. He's actually the chicken, but he's in A Knight's Tale. He's in who did he voice? Oh, I'm slipping. What's wrong with me? I'll put up a list on the video here. But anyway,
What's his name?
Alan Tudyk. Gage, we lost your video. But
Okay, he was in Rogue One. He was probably the robot in Rogue One.
he is.
Was he the
Yes.
robot?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Did you ever see
Dodgeball.
A Knight's Tale?
Wreck-It Ralph.
Dodgeball. He's Pirate
dude.
Steve. Yeah.
Yep.
Yarr.
No, I never saw A Knight's Tale.
Okay, that's a classic. Heath Ledger, Alan Tudyk.
Oh yeah.
And I think. Oh, and Paul Bettany. Do you know who Paul Bettany is? He's Vision. He's Vision in Marvel.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
He was in A Knight's Tale all the way back. Wow,
Yep. Yeah.
that's cool.
Absolutely watch it.
I'm gonna check that
For
one out.
anybody that hasn't watched it, you have to watch it. It's one of the most. Oh, I just love it. I'm sorry. I can quote
No.
that movie start to finish.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out for sure. Yeah, cool. So, what do you think DC's problem is? Like, why can't DC make good movies?
So we talked a little bit about this last time. We think DC's just trying to catch up. You know what I mean? Because Marvel had this algorithm where it was just working. Like they had time to build, and tell all of these stories that it was just easy to flow one into the other. DC didn't start until like 10 years later, where there was actually a canonical like structure to their movies. And so they had like 3 movies to start with, and then they just had to go in balls deep, you know what I mean? So I think because
well, they started with the Man of Steel, right?
yeah, Man of Steel, and then Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice, and then Justice League. Like it was just boom, boom, boom. And then they had to do all the sequels, which kind of fucks everything up. You know what I mean? I feel like if they didn't try so hard to rush it, if they just, you know what, sure, Marvel's ahead, but so what? Like let's take this a step at a time. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It could have done a lot better.
Yeah. I think part of the problem too is actually, Gage, you were bringing up the Dark Knight trilogy. I think that's DC's problem, is their hyper focus on the tone of those movies and them trying to replicate that tone in every single movie henceforth. Like,
they're trying to make them all
I just think
dark
about,
like that.
Well, it's not fair
Superman's
because like those are dark comics. They're detective comics.
Yeah, like some of the DC stuff is super messed up. Like
it's just dark.
Like they did the Killing Joke like as an animated movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like that is super dark. Like if you haven't seen that, like you need to watch it. It is super dark. So
I think it depends on what decade you're looking at when it comes to DC. Because if you look at Superman, just the character Superman, historically, Superman is not a dark character. Superman is kind of a cheesy character, and he's like meant to be this symbol of hope. And so, when you look at the way that they handled his first movie, Man of Steel, I just didn't think that it was representative of his character throughout the entire history of his story arc in the comics.
Sure.
I think trying to replicate that for every single, like Batman, yes, dark, I get that. But then trying to do that and push that into every single story, it doesn't work. And you see the success with Wonder Woman. I think part of that was it didn't have as dark of a tone. It didn't have as dark of themes. So,
well, and with Wonder Woman, when it was dark, because like there were parts where it was really dark, like in the trenches of World War One, like that's depressing. But then like when it was her, like she was so like light and happy and like such a bright happy like spirit that it made sense, and it was like she was the bright spot in this super dark area. So like for her it made sense because there was a balance. And then they made the second Wonder Woman movie, which was just so
I haven't seen it. I'm not going to.
It's not even worth it.
Don't worry about it.
Don't watch it. It's so bad.
What movie?
Yeah, that's what I heard. That's what I heard.
Pedro Pascal, who's the Mandalorian, he was in there. He did pretty good job.
I bet.
No one else did anything. So since you're not watching it, spoiler alert, we're going to talk about it. Cheetah is the other main villain. Cheetah was supposed to have a completely different origin story. There was like the one where she was like an archaeologist or something like in Africa, and she got like dug up this thing and got possessed by like the spirit of the hunt or like whatever, and then is like this friggin' crazy cheetah lady. And then there's the Batman animated series one where she was the researcher who like ran out of money and did experiments on herself, and then she turned into Cheetah. So it's just, I wasn't quite sure what was going on with the whole Make-A-Wish Foundation thing.
At least they stuck with her being a scientist.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We all know.
I
just wasn't really. There was just so many issues. We could talk about so many things. Like Wonder Woman's golden armor that was supposed to be impenetrable that then didn't do anything for her. It got like.
Dope cameo.
It was just. Yeah, but Ezra, just don't even watch it. My in-laws bought HBO Max or whatever, so we got to see it. It was just. I would have rather watched Rogue One for a 15th time.
You know what I do with those kind of movies is I just go and watch like Cinema Sins. You guys know that YouTube channel?
Yep.
Like I just go and watch him, and
Like a
I'm like,
breakdown.
I know this movie's bad. I'm just gonna go watch all the bad parts.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's, you'll see the title. It'll be like everything wrong with Wonder Woman 1984 in 25 minutes or less. It's just like, ooh,
Yeah,
that's a long one.
if you're getting up,
If it's
to
over
15
20 minutes
plus,
yeah.
Oh, it's a
lot of
trash movie.
problems. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
like,
that's a pretty good way to do it to avoid those bad movies.
Yeah. I feel like we didn't really talk much on Lord of the Rings when that was brought up.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Well, we've got $1 billion in it right now, Amazon. So
Yeah.
Because they're doing a show.
Yeah, dude, it's gonna be freaking wild.
And
it's gonna be
I
wild.
hope it's good.
I mean,
Amazon
$1
makes good
billion show.
That's insane.
Yeah, I can't wait. I don't even know where they're gonna take it. I just hope that they're true to J.R. Tolkien's work.
I heard that they were gonna do.
We've got a lot.
I heard they were gonna do stories out of the Silmarillion.
Yeah, I bet they will. There's going to be a lot of Middle Earth history, I think, coming to life.
I hope it's more Lord of the Rings than The Hobbit, though.
The Hobbit was a great book. Did you ever read the book?
Yeah, but I was talking about the movie because, like, I'm talking about like the Hobbit movies were just.
The first one was good. The first one was like that was a good movie. The second one was like so unmemorable. Like, but the third one was watchable. Like,
I feel like the second and the third one are just the same movie in my mind.
Yeah, probably. The most
Dude,
thing
how about that
I remember about the second one is the White Orc just like chasing the whole time.
Yeah,
Anyway.
so boring.
Wasn't that the whole?
How about
movie?
that?
Yeah,
it was. It was a whole trilogy. And he was a made-up character. He wasn't even in the book, so it's annoying. But how about the most beautiful soundtrack in the first, that Over the Misty Mountains Cold, when the dwarves started singing that?
Yeah.
I used to sit in my chair and just play that on repeat. Just take me away. They would just take me over the Misty Mountains.
Yep.
It was a good song.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oof. Yeah, that was so good. Can you imagine how... So, Joe, I was telling you I was in choir back in the day, which my wife made fun of me for because choir's for nerds. This dude was in choir with me. Can you imagine how fast Froyland would have lost it if we'd sounded anywhere near that good?
Oh, my.
He would have stopped threatening to kick us out.
Baritones, baby. Baritones. We literally made, I don't know if Gage told you this, Joe, but we made the baritone class.
No.
There was no baritones before us, and so we made it happen.
Nice. All right.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't realize
there's a lot
get that deep.
There's a lot of scandals in choir. That was a good time, Gage. Good time.
That was a good old time.
I wish I committed to music more when I was younger, because I love it now.
Yeah, you missed out.
Yeah, I did. But I'm better at it now, so whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Well, yeah, you also, I don't know if this is the appropriate place for it, but Joe can, like, metal scream.
Yeah.
Like,
no way.
Yeah. Like, it is freaking good. And it's hard, too. Like, I don't know if you've ever tried it, but, like, next time you're riding in your car, like, throw on some, like, Kill Switch Engage or Slayer or something, like, just anything like that, and just try to scream. You'll be embarrassed. Easy. Like, I try it sometimes, like, in my car by myself, and I'm embarrassed. Like, I shouldn't be doing this.
I'm like, don't look at me.
Like, I have shame. Like, I wasn't raised Catholic, but I feel that intense Catholic shame of just, like, I'm doing something wrong.
This is sin.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
This is not the format for it, but I do want to make a video. I think it'd be really cool.
Yeah. Do it, man.
Fuck yeah.
But...
You know what you should do, Joe? Go ahead, Gage.
No, you go first.
Okay. You know what you should do? So there's this new YouTube thing, format, whatever you want to call it, called YouTube Shorts. 60 minutes or less. You have to be a vertical video. And right now, the potential for viralness in YouTube Shorts is through the freaking roof. So like if you have a new channel, YouTube will just put your short on the shelf and it has the potential to get in front of millions of people. So you should try doing some metal screaming, throw it on a YouTube short, and see if it goes viral, dude.
All right.
Yeah.
I think
Sweet.
I'll accept that challenge. All right. That's tight.
That'd be dope.
I wrote it down so I don't forget.
Cool.
Yeah.
So wait, so what sort of music do you listen to then?
Honestly, yeah. So honestly, I don't listen to a lot of music. Anytime that I have some free time and I can have these headphones in, I'll listen to a podcast.
Okay.
But I'm from Iowa, so you're basically you have to listen to country music or you're not from Iowa. So I like country music.
But
I like worship music.
Slipknot's from Iowa.
Yeah, Slipknot is from Iowa.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think was it their first album?
Their first
It's
album
titled
is called Iowa. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
yeah. Do you
trivia.
remember my first exposure to Slipknot was, I don't know if we can say first and last names on here, but Ezra, remember Tiff Tiff?
Mhm.
She we were in elementary school and like she was this just tall girl. She's probably like 6'3", just big old girl, and she'd wear Slipknot t-shirts. And I was like 4th or 5th grade, and I was just like, oh, like it's kind of creepy.
It's probably a little
Now
scary.
look at you.
Yeah.
I was like,
You
I don't know
disgusting
if
human.
I want to listen to that. And now I love it.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
So
That was like my middle school all the way to high school.
yeah,
I
also
did
that.
have a Rammstein phase in high school. I knew
Yeah, you
every
were lots
word to every Rammstein song. My friends were like, dude, you speak German? No, I don't.
I don't know what I'm saying.
I don't know what I'm saying, but it's dope, right? No, it's creepy.
So, are you guys music listeners when you're working out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
It just gets
yeah.
me more like I like it gives me the chills. Sometimes I'll listen to like motivation stuff.
Okay.
Like you're in it.
Like David
Do this.
Goggins, stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because sometimes
Yeah.
you just need someone to be like, fucking be better because you want to be better. And you're like, yeah, I never thought about that. Like,
It's like you make some good points.
You're like,
I'll just do that.
yep. I'll just be better.
Yeah. So I guess Ezra, you don't listen to much music, so I was gonna propose this question, but
Oh, you gonna
movies
propose?
or music, which would you get rid of?
Taken. Oh, definitely. That's tough, dude. That's actually really tough. I know I don't listen to a lot of music, but music is actually a big part of my life. So I'm a Christian. So when it comes to worshiping, that's a big part of my life. I'd have to go with movies.
Yeah,
Music is
get rid
too
of movies?
important.
Interesting.
Yeah. I think I'd stick with the music.
Cool.
What about you, Joseph?
I mean, also a difficult question, but less difficult. I think I would go with getting rid of music. I'm a very visual person. Like, I can get bored with a song, but if there's a movie that I love, I will always love that movie. I watch movies until the disc doesn't work anymore. Like, and then I have to download it, and then the download burns, you know?
Yeah.
I just love movies.
Yeah.
So you?
Yeah. They're both so good. I think it would be get rid of movies first, just because music is. I mean, granted, movies have like such a vast variety, but for me, it's just like discovering new music and like being shown and showing people new music is such a fun part of my life. Like, I mean, on Spotify, I've got collaborative playlists with my buddies, So it's just open source. Like we could all add music to that just for the purpose of discovering new music. Like I think that's such a cool thing. Like I'll get like the end of year Spotify wrap up and it'll be like, oh, you discovered 300 new artists this year. It's like, wow, like that's
Tight.
cool. So I think
Speaking of which, one of my best friends, he looked at his Apple iTunes wrap up, and he discovered, or he listened to 852 different artists. He listens to so much music, and he's so diverse. Like, I've got one of his playlists. It's got everything. And it's always something new. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that is. And then I'll play something, and he's like, oh, I love that. I'm going to put it on my playlist. And I'm like, dope.
so. He like has different kinds of music in the same playlist.
Yeah.
Ooh, that gives me the chills. I can't do that. It's like, no. For me, I've got like very specific, like segmented different playlists. Like I've got like multiple metal playlists, like different punk playlists. Like I really separate things. So, because like just the idea of like going to liked songs and just throwing it on shuffle, like it never works for me. I always like get 2 or 3 songs in, and I'm like, nope, fuck it, I can't do this. I'm going to my new metal playlist, or I'm going to my like black metal playlist, or like something specific. Ugh.
That's fair.
Yeah, everything's compartmentalized for me too, dude. It's just boom. I got different sections in my brain for everything. Diving into that, I'm still thinking about your question, dude. But diving into that question even deeper. So, movies versus music. If we had to get rid of one, I'm just thinking like movies, the visual picture, the motion picture. We've only had those for what 100 years. And then you think about music. Music has been since the beginning of human history. Like it has been ingrained in. It's part of humanity. I wonder what it would be like if movies did go away, because there would be other forms of visual art or visual storytelling that took its place. I wonder if that would be theater or if it would just be more TV shows or what. But with the movie theater going away, I mean, that is something to consider.
I hope movie theaters don't go away forever, though. Like going to the theater, I think we talked about this previously, but going to the theater is such a fun experience. Like you get the popcorn that's like really greasy and too salty, and like you just like sit in this room. Like, it's such a fun experience.
It's one of the last experiences in America, I think, where it doesn't matter what you believe or who you are, even, that you can just come together and sit in a room full of people and enjoy something together as humans.
Yeah, it's like
it's
that in sports.
It's a pretty unique thing. Yeah, sports is that too.
Yeah, like
it would be a shame to lose that. It would hurt our culture, I think, to lose the movie theaters. But I think it's going to happen. I really do.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
Do you? Okay,
there's,
so here's an
there's not enough
interesting
money
question.
in it. Yeah.
Do you think that's because of COVID? Like, do you think COVID showed too many people that we don't need to be in the same room?
COVID sped it up. This was already happening. Just with all the streaming services, especially our generation. I mean, we love to be alone. We love to be in our bed, watch Netflix. We're very, very individualistic. So I think as our generation continues to grow up, I think the movie theater is just going to become completely obsolete and useless. And that's a shame. I'm not saying that's a good thing, but that's just what I see. And I mean, if you look at just like stocks and you kind of track this stuff from a business perspective, even, it's they're hurting, and they were hurting before COVID.
That makes me really sad. Yeah. In terms of like the stock thing, I think after COVID, like once movie theaters reopen, people are going to have a newfound appreciation for them. Just like there was a newfound appreciation for gyms, and a newfound appreciation for being somewhere else, like outside of the house. Because when someone's like, you stay there don't fucking move, or we're gonna fine you, or like whatever. People want to do the opposite of what they're being forced to do, and now that they lost movie theaters and malls and sitting down at restaurants, that's all they want.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
it's all they want.
It's like
but
you don't know what you got
the,
until you can't do it.
you've got to have the right people and the right money, though. Like, malls aren't coming back. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're nostalgic about certain things like malls and movie theaters, but I think that our parents were nostalgic about going to drive-in movie theaters. And so I think that it's just kind of like an evolution. Like, we had drive-in theaters, and before that we had these really grand operas and these places that they would show motion pictures. And now we're to movie theaters, and now we're going to transition into something new that's going to be more individualized. It's all about the money. You just got to follow the money with all this stuff. Unfortunately, that's just what it comes down to with these big corporations. And it sucks for us nerds because a lot of times we value the story and we value what's truly important and what makes the fandom so passionate about whatever they're passionate about. But when it comes to a businessman making decisions, he's going to follow the money.
Sadly, I think that's true.
Yeah.
And I think the selling the movie on Disney Plus is the start. Like bringing back pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But
well, that's depressing. Thanks for that, Ezra.
Yeah. On that
anytime
note,
you need a pessimistic outlook, call me.
But I mean, it's an interesting thing to talk about, and I think people seeing this will think, like it'll help.
Hopefully,
people.
Yeah.
We'll see. These
Hopefully,
days, you
think
never
about
know
like
what the fuck
what's
is gonna
important to
happen.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, how important is it to be able to go out and go to a theater? Like, is it really better, or can you just do it at home? It's cheaper to do it at home, but I don't know if it's definitely not better.
Definitely not better. Big screen, perfect sound, candy for $50.
Yeah. 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 Also, like, how often would you?
You just gotta sneak it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, when
I'm
would
just
you
kidding.
ever sit at home and have a big thing of candy, a giant bowl of popcorn, and like a 24-ounce pop? Like, I mean, I don't know about some people, but like, I would just sit at home and do that.
Yeah.
Gage, come on now.
Come on.
We've all been there. I know it's a shame.
I mean, yeah,
I
but
have-
like, when's the last time you like,
No
oh, like
shame.
this is an excuse, I get to pig out.
You can't make me feel like shit for doing what I want in my house.
Yeah,
I want to
right.
eat a pound of candy while I'm watching a movie. All right?
I guess candy's not my big thing then, because like for me, it's ice cream. Like a quart of ice cream, like that's serving for one.
I got a picture of you eating ice cream. All right? Not to make this creepy.
Pull it up. Pull it up.
Oh, I will. It's going to be on here.
Yeah.
There we go.
So I guess,
love it.
Yeah, candy's just not my thing. Or
I love
baked goods. Like,
Ooh,
for me, it's like ice cream versus baked goods. Ice cream every time.
you're reading a sexy poem to me right now.
Yeah.
I
I
just
see
love
you
sweet
starting
things.
to sweat. Getting sweaty there,
Get
big
me all
boy.
worked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you guys
thanks for joining us.
Thank you guys.
Yeah. that was a lot
Ezra,
of
where
fun.
can people find
man.
you?
Yeah, like I said, you guys, thank you, first of all. Like, this was just a pleasure to be on the show. It showed me the first episode, and I immediately texted him, and I was like, you guys are going to blow up. Just keep it up. Stay consistent. This is going to blow up. People are going to get passionate about this, and you guys will find your groove and figure out kind of like the rhythm of the show, and it's going to be great. I can't wait to see where you guys go with it. But if you want to find me and what I'm doing, you could head over to 310 Timber Company, our YouTube channel. Would love your support there. We're going to be trying to make a video a week. And that includes the whole process of us tearing down barns to funny clips of Elias pulling down barns with a rope. So check us out there.
Awesome.
Oh,
Thanks
and
for joining
I'll
us.
say our tagline, because I'm always about the branding. So our tagline is 310 Timber Company, reclaiming Iowa history one board at a time. So check it
Nice.
out if you want to be part of the journey.
I'm sure we all
All right.
do. We also made a Games and Gains Instagram. So you can follow us there, and I'll put that up. We made another social media.
You made a Twitter, right?
Yeah, we made a Twitter. So I'll put that up too. All right. But that has been Games and Gains. Thanks for coming, guys.
Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, send to your friends. Leave mean comments about Joe.
Leave mean comments. He keeps hitting me. No, I'm kidding. Abuse is not okay. All right. Bye.
See you, everybody.